Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome along to round number 7 of the Formula GT Racing League ACC World Challenge. As you saw from the opening highlights, it was a sunny Bathurst in the previous round. We're off to Italy for this one. Will the drivers be blessed with the same weather for their hour-long outing today? We will certainly find out very soon indeed. It is, as I say, round number 7 at 60 minutes of Misano. So far, we've had, of course, Laguna Seca, Imola, Brands Hatch, the Nürburgring, Barcelona, who can forget that one, and, of course, Bathurst last time out. Still got Kyalami, Zolder, Suzuka, Donington Park, and Spa-Francorchamps still to come. And after the 6 opening rounds, let me just bring these up. And here we go. We can see in the ARM standings it is Mishan Wallace in the Ferrari leading the way at the minute by 1 point over Jay Salgakar. Jay Fraser, unfortunately, no longer in the championship, so Drew Downing is 4th place. Drew Downing in 3rd. Sorry, Conrad in 4th. Andrea Tassinato in 5th position. Conrad Arn in 6th. Jakob Zook in 7th. It's Finlay O'Reilly who finds himself now in 8th position. Javier Manuel Gomez finds himself promoted from 10th to 9th. And Akos Nagy now up into the top 10. The Meta McLaren, 4 entries in the top 10 of the ARM, but it is the Ferrari and the Audi that are still leading the way. Good to see the Aston Martin was hanging in there, but Jay Fraser, of course, no longer in the championship. Ian Lance leads the way in the silver standings in the BMW, and it's a pair of BMWs leading the way there in the silvers, with Simon Zaczek in 2nd place. Christian Wood leads a pair of Aston Martins, himself and Oscar Aron there, 3rd and 4th. Marcus Gustafskis, the lead Ferrari in the silvers, 5th position. In the first McLaren we find is Chloe Hazel in 6th place. Lewis Evans in 7th. Kieran Macy in 8th place. Again, another pairing of cars here. This time it's Porsches with Guilherme Goncalves in 9th position. Jory Ambersley no longer in the championship, so Ryan Clements finds himself promoted to the top 10. And in the pros, it is Robert Bjorkman, Mercedes, leading the charge at the minute, an almighty 9.5 points ahead of Richard Walters in the BMW. And then we see Luke Wilson brought home the victory last time out in the Bentley, and only 19.5 points off the lead. And he's got a 30-point gap, It is very humid and warm this evening in Scotland. We've got Nicholas Kraus at 30 points back, so the lead 3 in the pros really are leading. Magnus Haukeby in 5th, and Skylar Loverink we saw feature heavily in the opening highlights from last time out. 44 points, 6th position, 58 off the top. Plenty of rounds still to come. Vegard Johansson in 7th, and Jose Martins, Bruno Fantozzi and Renato Ruffo no longer in the competition, so Pietro Becchia and Carol Nordell find themselves inside the top 10. The drivers should all be out in qualifying. Let me just... Okay. So bear with me 2 seconds. The usual technical fun and games. Bear with me a second, sorry. If Charlie's in the chat, there shouldn't be a change to the server as far as I'm aware, but I can't seem to get logged in. Hello to anyone that is watching. Looking forward. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry. Just getting sorted out to get myself access into the server. Whether it's real racing or sim racing, there's always fun. Yeah, there's always fun in games to be had. Technical issues, again, whether it's real. There we go. And in fact, yes, it is just right at the end of free practice, so we will see the full quali. So yeah, the drivers are just giving their engines a good old rev. At the minute we've got 30 out on track, we've got about a minute and a half. And yeah, that is, let's just mute that so we don't have to listen to that car engine anymore. I'm not quite sure if that's somebody really testing their fuel consumption there. We'll get hooked in to the server. Yeah, we'll get control of the cameras. We're just right in the middle. The drivers just coming to the end of the practice session. Then they will be released for qualifying, split qualifying as well. Good turnout. Salgakar and Wallace, the leaders in the AMS, both present as you would expect. Gustavskis in there as well. And here we go. So yeah, we'll see some of the cars on their way out. Yep, here they come. Let's put the game sound back on. Now we don't have the overly excitable revving engines. Superb. So there we go. It is Misano, as I said, for the sound. 2.6 miles of pristine, fairly flat Italian tarmac. Certainly no massive undulations or overlay, or no camber, certainly, like you would see at a track like Zandvoort or the like. Track limits are certainly going to be something to keep an eye on, even over a 1 hour race. This track certainly encourages you to get as far out on the curbing as possible to try and extract as much time as you can out of the laps. There is Mishan Wallace. He's out on track at the minute. He's just coming in to sector 3, and of course through Corvone. So inviting to go side by side to the untrained racer. Definitely not someplace you want to encourage it. Not so much the apex you need to worry about, more that exit curbing on the left hand side. If you know, you know. If you don't, give it a try. Just make sure you're holding on tight to the steering wheel at the time. Into the heavy braking zone. He's going to come past the pit entrance. Phenomenal course, this one of my personal favourites to drive. As I say, only built back in 1972, so it is a relatively new course. Has seen a few changes. It's gained half a mile since its original inception, and quite frankly it's some of the best half mile on the track, as it is this section that we now see Mishan Wallace on. He's across the start finish line. into turn number 1. Nice solid dab of the brakes to get the front end down, get the weight on the front wheels to get the steering. Maybe needed to be a bit more over to the left. Sorry, Cardinals qualification just popped up at the bottom there. Coming into Curve del Rio, this one's so easy to get wrong. You need to be so patient in this middle sector, all about setting up the exit. Really on the edge there with the back of the Ferrari. Did of course avoid those yellow kerbins on the right hand side. Absolutely fatal. These things can be, even with the new 1.9 physics update. He makes his way through Cuervaca and back through towards Tramonto. Again, another corner all about the setup. It's all about the exit, because this is, of course, one of the fastest parts of the track. Could potentially see cars go side by side through here. We're all going to hold our breath, much like Blanchimont down here. It is possible, but you need two very committed and considerate drivers to make it work. And this is back, of course, where we jumped on board, and Wallace won't be the first to set a time. He will be second, so we're going to see a time hit the board. The AMs, of course, got 10 minutes to qualify, then the Silvers, then the Pros. It is Downing with a 37.3 and across the line. Wallace brings home 35.6, as you would expect. A quick time already up at the top of the board there. Downing in the Lambo just behind him. Trombley crosses the line ahead of Downing, but behind Wallace. There's Nagy with a Saiter lap in the Honda. Jay Salgakar crosses the line. That's the one I was looking for there. He's in the Audi at 5th position at the minute, 4 seconds down. So again, you would feel that's a Saiter lap. Nagy already 6/10 up. Mishan Wallace as well, finding big time already on his second lap. It is at 5 o'clock in the morning local time, 15 degrees track temperature, so just on the lower side of optimal. If that even is optimal now since the 1.9 update. I'm not even sure what 100% what optimal track temperature is. If it is still 16 degrees, I'm sure it's someplace in that region. We've got K4 Macy saying he's working on it. Go Charlie go. Thanks Brotty. Just got my Fanatec. Oh, I actually saw that. If that's Charlie, yeah, I did see he joined the gang. Dark Penguin and Brotty. Just to get used to it. Have a good race. And hello Dark Penguin, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Who else have we got up here? Oh, there we go. I knew there was a new one. Connie Arden in the McLaren within a quarter of a second. So a good opening lap there. A solid Saiter lap, although as I'm saying that, Wallace has invalidated his lap. Arden is carrying time. Nagy really carrying time. Salgakar has just been overtaken. Conrad pops the BMW up onto row number 2, and then Salgakar does bring it home by half a second then. So the championship leaders in the ARMS are now separated. Sorry, Connie Arden in the McLaren. That rhymes far too well, it has to be said, but Connie Arden in the McLaren up onto the front row. Wallace and O'Reilly with identical times. They've both done a 135.615. O'Reilly just bringing his across the line there. We do have Johnson yet to set a time. He is amongst himself and another 4 drivers. Roy Smith Gomez, Akan has been disqualified for driving the wrong way. That might be a pit lane violation. Can I see? We've got Lyric in the chat as well. Good afternoon, Lyric, or good evening, good morning, whichever part of the world you are in. I don't know why I'm saying good afternoon. It's 7 o'clock in the evening for me. But yeah, it has been claimed that I'm never quite sure of which time zone I'm quite in. So yeah, that would certainly fit with that theory. Roy Johnson and Smith. Oh, there we go. We've got Smith with a time in the Audi. 8 PM where the Lyric is. So Lyric is in Europe. Marcus Augustovskis in the chat. Good evening. Mark Roy gets himself a time inside the top 10. No changes. Up at the top with Jace Algakar, 34.8. Still leading the way, but he's extended that lead to just under 4/10 of a second. Wallace has separated himself from Riley, but is still half a second of pole position, with Connie Arden still firmly in the middle. So yeah, row 1 and 2 hotly contested for the arms. Drew Downing looking to make an improvement, and Conrad in the BMW was at one point on the front row, and he's carrying good time. Jake Smith as well, well up on his delta at the minute, and in fact he does need all that time and then some if he's going to get past Roy if he does this. Downing in the pits, Mishan Wallace in the pits as well, so he won't get any better than third, and that third definitely not guaranteed the way Conrad is getting that BMW around Misano at the minute. He's going to cross the line, he's going to make a big jump in position here. That's 8/10 of a second, and it's 4th place. Almost identical time, 300ths of a second separate him from championship leader Mishan Wallace, who now finds himself in 4th. Wallace in 4th is Seth Johnson in the McLaren. 2/10 of pole position. Comes from absolutely no place at the death of qualifying. 12 of the drivers getting a time set, and they've still got time to set more as well. Trombley's up on his time. Nagy up on his time as well, although he does need a lot of time at the minute. They've got 23 seconds left to start a lap. As long as they start a lap, they can finish it. So Nagy, this is going to be his last go at it. Trombley as well, 3/10 in Aston Martin at the minute, as he is just coming through Cuervaca onto the long back straight, really using as much of that exit as he can, carry as much pace across the line. We're going to see a flood of silvers now take to the track. They've more than likely been queuing up for the last few seconds. As the arms get theirs done, Salgakar in the pits, he is done. Johnson out but down, Arden out but down, O'Reilly out but up, and Trombley definitely up. Nagy as well, definitely up, but Nagy really needs a lot more time if he's going to make an impression on the lead group. Oh, Trombley fully committed out of the last corner there, crosses the line, finds himself in 7th. That looked like a big improvement coming, that little squirrel on the way out of the line, on the way at the last corner there, costing him a 10th or 2 it would seem, but he's back in the pits, currently in 6th place. Nagy crosses the line, stays in 11th position, all on Connie Arden then. Is no longer on a valid lap, because I believe time would have expired. So it's Finlay O'Reilly, 4/10. Oh, this is going to be quick. Finlay O'Reilly, not to be taken too lightly at the end of the session, goes 4th place. Mishan Wallace down to 5th position. Brake markers into oblivion. What an ending that was. And that's just the arms. Here we go. Salgakar and Arden find themselves on the front row for the arms, and it's Johnson and O'Reilly on row 2. Wallace, championship leader, separated by 4 positions from the driver in 2nd. It's only a point ahead of him in the championship. Conrad in 6th, it's Trombley in 7th, Downing in 8th, Smith in 9th place, Roy in 10th. Nagy did get a lot of time there at the end, not enough to make an impression on the drivers ahead, so he's going to start in 11th place for the arms, and it is Manuel Gomez that's going to start in 12th place for the arms. The silvers out on track. Oh, this is going to be an absolutely incredible race. That is just the that's only the ARM qualifying done. We've still got the silvers and the pros to get done and dusted. I have closed the wrong window, so as we watch the drivers out on track, I'm going to reopen that. Oops. There we go. Technology is a wonderful thing, don't we all agree? 100%. So yeah, there's the silvers there. Excellent. And there is the leader. Ian Lance, he is the driver, of course, leading the way at the minute in the silvers. Zajac, who we're just on board with, he is in second, those 7 points behind, and these two really are battling out themselves at the top. They're almost between them, 48 points average between them. 53 points off the lead is Christian Wood at the moment. So the two BMWs extremely dominant, and oh no, early door. I was going to say early doors laying down a marker, but Nico Dudek doing exactly that himself in the Lamborghini. 34.6 early doors. We can see Lance and Zajac, their times slotting early doors into the top times of the ARMS, as you would expect. There is Charlie Thornton himself, organiser extraordinaire. Let me just see if I can get the chat open again. All the windows are closing. Oh, Dark Penguin, timing a silver pole. Okay, ARMS look incredibly fast. The Gustavskiss, they do indeed. They do indeed. Dark Penguin, so who are you in the game? Or what is your name in real life? Because, yeah, obviously that's what we get in the game. And now that I think that to myself, he's just said he's out qualifying, so we'll wait until the silvers have finished qualifying, and then we'll find out. By the minute, Ian Lance has taken the top spot. Finlay O'Reilly, I'm going to get heckled for taking out that brake marker. Now Finlay, it may have already been pointed out on the stream. Yes, there was. Yeah, that's you are. I doubt you're going to be massively popular with the rest of the drivers still to qualify, I would say. But no, it was a good time that you did set there, ahead of the championship leader. But, and say, yeah, Wallace can definitely get the job done in the race as well. I'm expecting some phenomenal racing here, this track. Or tell us yourself, actually, any of the drivers that are in the chat, how do you guys yourself feel about this track? It's easy for me to sit here in the comfort of my armchair, bravely talking down the microphone. I do enjoy this track myself. But yeah, how do you guys and gals feel that you're going to be getting on this evening or this afternoon, whichever one it is for yourself? Jake Smith in the chat. Yeah, let's go. All for it. Excellent. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. We're seeing a lot of times coming in. Selish putting himself. It really is warm here this evening. Selish putting himself in the upper echelons of the silvers, rubbing shoulders with Zajac just a row behind at the minute. The time's incredibly close again in this particular class. Lance only half a second ahead of Zajac, but that's enough to put 3 positions between them as Zajac crosses the line on an out lap, getting ready to start. No, not his penultimate lap. He's going to squeeze another 2 in there. At the minute though, Christian Wood, second in the championship, finds himself at the moment well down the order. And in fact, if I can be a bit lazy, oh no, it doesn't identify him like that, but there we go. But yeah, well down the order at the minute. He's got several of the silvers, 5, so he's 11th at the minute. And he's got some traffic ahead as well. So for as long as the circuit is, the drivers still managing to find themselves nice and close to one another. The slipstream not always the best. Goncalves 11th at the minute. A couple more changes. Gustavskis, who was in the chat, is now out on track in the Ferrari. With 2 minutes left to go, he is carrying some good time. Selishev as well, very quick. The Ferraris looking nice and strong here at Misano. Love to see it. Not good, probably. Oh yeah, this is going to be some incredible side-by-side action. Gustavskis up to 4th place then, 2nd row. Oh, Goncalves, just mentioned, was going quick as well. That's 2 drivers, half a second. Clements is up to 8th place, double O in 9th, not me. I never even introduced myself. My apologies. My name is, of course, John Wright, aka Double O Raven. I'm so excited about getting started. I didn't even introduce myself. My apologies. But yeah, let's face it, it's the action we're tuning in for, not me. But yeah, Goncalves with a good time then, up to the 2nd row. Gustavskis instantly back down to 5th position. Double O, as I say, in 9th place. It's Wood and Thornton, 10th and 11th at the minute. And Wood really is struggling to find some pace. He's only just up on his delta, and this is going to be his last chance. So unless he really has lost a lot of time in Sector 3 in the qualifying session so far, I don't think we're going to see a massive improvement here. He's going to be behind quite a few. I mean, okay, sorry, he's going to make it past a couple of these arms. Oh no, maybe he's not. He was a 10th up there. He only needs a 10th to get ahead of them. This is not what he needs for his championship standings. It's going to be a big race, and he's actually down on his time at the last corner, or is the telemetry lead? It's not. Christian Wutke then. That is a big drop down the order. 3rd place in the championship, only 4 points ahead of Oscar Arn. Oh, it's the other Arn, Connie Arn's racing. Oscar is there ahead of him as well, actually. Still putting in times. Still putting in times. He is down on his delta as well. Ian Lance, well, all that's been going on. Ian Lance has been going about his business, and business is good. 1 minute 33.880, almost 3/10 ahead of Macy, and half a second up on Dudek and Goncalves, and in fact the Gustavskis as well. Really, that's I was going to say, really, that was commitment over those curbs. The tyres, it would appear, slightly less committed than the driver there. So Lance returns to garage. Qualifying done, currently in that pole position. Goncalves and Gustavskis still out on track, so too Oscar, and Christian Wutke as well is still out on track, so could potentially still bring home a time as the pros are making their way out. Walters, Bjorkman, Johansson, Haukeby, of course, all straight out on track, all in their German manufactured cars. The BMW, the Mercedes and the Audis. And let's see what Christian can do. And he does find the time at the end, and he gets himself inside the top 10. He really needed that. He is going to be behind the lead arm though. Jay Salgakar will be ahead, and all but nope, sorry, my apology. And no, he is back in the pits. There we go. So I was correct. So he was back in the pits. So that is the silver qualifying done. It's Lance, Macy, Dudek and Goncalves that are going to take the front 2 rows for the silvers. Of course, we've got the pros to qualify. Gustavskis and Selishev are going to find themselves on row number 3 with Zajac at the moment side by side with Salgakar in the arms, but it is Christian Wood right to death. Gets himself into 8th place for the silvers. Clements finds himself in 9th position. Oscar in 10th, and it is Charlie Thornton 11th in the silver, 17th overall. So the bottom silver with 5 of the arms ahead. So promotion for next season certainly looking good, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers that get promoted are going to be a welcome addition to the class above, given that the pace that they're showing. 2 of the arms still in the top 10 after silver qualification. Not too bad at all. But there is Robert Bjorkman. We do love the sound of the Mercedes. Let's use the old forbidden chase car and listen to a bit of that. And at the moment, of course, it is the sound of victory. Bjorkman guiding that Mercedes to the front row of the grid, I'd imagine, as soon as he sets a time. Oh no, that was just his out lap. No, what? He's not set a time yet. Wow. Okay, Bjorkman's not set a time yet. We're almost halfway to quality. But he is leading the way, 9.5 points, of course, over Walters and Wilson. So he's going to need to get a time set. Wilson with no time set yet at the moment either. And they are the only 2 drivers that haven't set a time yet. At the moment it is Richard Walters, second in the championship, second row on the grid. They're almost identical time to Macy. Sees him 3/10 off pole position. Again, half of the session left to go for the pros. Track set at 15 degrees. It is it's certainly not the worst temperature to be driving in. Pretty close to that optimal. The track will be well rubbered in now as well. Haukebe puts himself 4th place at the minute. Johansson and Nordell ahead there in 2nd and 3rd. 7th and 8th at the minute overall. So not only the arm times holding up quite well, the silver times holding up well as well. Excellent use of the English language there. Nordell and Johansson, as I say, 7th and 8th, and that is Walters. Sorry, my apologies, it's Nordell. There we go, Nordell goes quicker. And so does Bjorkman. He sets a time, and it is instantly at pole position, and he is carrying more time through Sector 1. So too Richard Walters, but it's through Sector 3. He got 37 hundredths of a second separating the front row of the grid. Bjorkman is going quicker, Walters is green as well. So they are carrying good time. Nordell in the pits, Dudek in the pits, of course, because he's a silver. Is Johansson that I'm looking for. There we go. The Audi driver looking quick at the moment. Still got a bit of a lap to go. But certainly spicing up at the top of the pros, much like it did in the arms. Not that the silver qualifying was separated by much more, but certainly the arms. That is some close times. Wilson at the minute, that does look like a time that will be improved on. He is 2 seconds off the pace at the minute. Expect that to change very soon. In fact, very soon. That's yeah, at least half a second he's got at the minute. We'll stay on front. Let's have a look at the Bentley. A rare creature these days. Really planting it. That's 3/10 he's carrying through there. He is a bit behind the track on Johansson, so let's see Johansson cross the line. 5th position. So 2 silvers still ahead, 3.5 minutes still to go. But that's now 6 drivers within 4/10 of a second, and the front row still only separated by 37 hundredths of a second. It's pretty close. Magnus Haukeby, he'll certainly be hoping to get involved in these front row time antics as well. Needs a good finish in this race to keep his championship charge alive. 5th place he's in at the minute, 58 points off the lead, but he's only a point behind Kraus ahead of him. And yeah, Luke Wilson is tearing away there a bit in 3rd place. Sorry, Skylar Liverink. Huckabee is a point ahead of Liverink, and 9 points behind Kraus. Sorry, looking at that one the wrong way around. But yeah, either way, Huckabee definitely needs to be getting himself ahead of the silvers. And mixing there, Luke Wilson has improved. It's only put him 14th overall. So still a fair bit of time to find compared to the rest of the pros. And Robert Bjorkman is about to absolutely separate himself from the rest of the field if he can keep this one, and he has kept it between the mail and the mustard out of the last corner. He's crossed the line, and that's not been any improvement whatsoever. I don't know why I told him he was 3/10 of a second up there. Johansson set himself a good one there. He's got himself up to 4th. So Ian Lance still hanging on in the 2nd row of the grid. Only 2 pros ahead of him at the minute. So with a minute and a half to go, Lance looking good. He is going to have, at the minute, he is going to have Macy starting directly behind him into turn number 1 with a lot of cars coming in. So we'll see how they fare. Huckabee is definitely going quicker. So too Luke Wilson. Wilson though, certainly not as quick as Huckabee is at the minute. Those top 2. Bjorkman is saying he's 2/10 up again, but it said that the last lap. So I think he might have invalidated. So we'll keep a wither eye on that one. Huckabee has just invalidated his lap by the look of it. Wilson is chasing Bjorkman. That's Walters. Here, right, yeah, here comes Bjorkman. Let's keep an eye on that. Oh yeah, well, Luke Wilson's found a lot of time there actually. Walters has got a bit of time. Bjorkman has taken that 3/10. He's brought that across the line. He's given himself 4/10 of an advantage over Walters, who's a couple of corners behind. He's 2/10 up. That could not have been, and they've got another lap to go at this as well. I'm talking like this is done and dusted. He's just closed the gap back down again, and Luke Wilson carrying a bit of time now. This, not a lot, but it should see him into the top 10 overall. Incredible times by the silvers. Really standing up against the pros at the minute. Let's see what Wilson can do. 13th place, 5th place, sorry. He finds himself overall. Bjorkman is done. Can Walters find the 210? In fact, he is massively down. He is driving very slowly, so we're going to say he's done. With qualifying as well. Johansson in the Audi. He's still out on the track, but he is down on his time at the minute. And look, well, oh no, did he just pull over? Sorry, I looked away at the at something else. Direct, no, how could be? No, how could he's pulled over? Oh no, he's not. Luke Wilson, it's Luke Wilson that's pulled into the pits. So Wilson is done with qualifying, and that is. Oh, there we go. Nice bit of showboating there. But it is Robert Bjorkman that is going to take top spot honours in the qualifying there for the pros. Walters in 2nd, Johansson 3rd, Nordell managed to get himself 4th, Huckabee 5th, and Luke Wilson in 6th position. And in 6th in the pros, 13th overall, and on the same row as Jay Salgakar in the arms. So it just goes to show you how strong the arms and the silvers are, especially as we see Monsieur Gustafskis in the Ferrari finds himself with a purple Sector 2. 400s quicker than pole sitter Bjorkman. In the silvers, it was Lance Macy, Dudek Goncalves, and then Gustafskis that took those top 5 spots. Selishev and Zacek in 7th, as we saw Wood, Clements, Oscar, and Charlie Thornton 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And in the arms, as we saw it with Salgakar, Aaron Johnson, O'Reilly, Wallace and Conrad in the top 6. Tromley, Downing and Smith 7th, 8th and 9th. Roy and Nagy 10th and 11th, and Gomez in 12th. I think I saw in the chat that Akan is getting to race. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one when the race does start. Of course, this evening is round number 7 of the Formula sorry, that notification. Oh, we'll see if he is getting to race. Sorry, yeah, but it's round number 7, of course. We've been around the world so far. Laguna Seca, Imola, Brands Hatch, Nürburgring, Barcelona, Bathurst, and we are here at Misano. Still got Kyalami, Zolder, Suzuka, Donington Park, and Spa-Francorchamps to end the competition. Of course, alternating rounds. We have 2 and 1 hour races this evening. It is the 1 hour race, and that is a penalty just being handed out there. So I'll see if I can get confirmation on that one. Oh, and that's, oh, there we go. So yeah, we'll get set up for the race. The drivers 1 minute 50 seconds. We'll do a warm-up lap, a formation lap. 16 degrees the track temperature still is, so still 6 AM in the morning for the drivers. The 1 hour race will take them to 7 in the morning, so not a massive amount of change in track temperature. As you would expect. They do have the pit stops to take as well, but as I say, it is the 1 hour race that the drivers will be taking part in this evening. Some penalties being handed out by the stewards. The track conditions are optimum, and it is a nice clear sky, so very little chance of rain. Beautiful sunrise in the background there. Of course, absolutely stunning circuit is Misano. The 2.6 miles, as I say, half a mile it's gained. It's Variante del Parco and Curva del Rio that have been added, and what an inclusion they have been. Are we live on there? Yes, we are. Any predictions in the chat? Wow, the chat has gone absolutely wild since the last looked in. I hope everyone is enjoying. Ferrari's so beautiful. Agreed. I'm not biased. Yes, I am. Never mind, couldn't get the lap together. P3 for now, says Dark Penguin. So that is Nico Dudek. Welcome in, Mr. Dudek. Was an invalid lap from Bjorkman 33.4. K4 Macy, why do I feel like I'm going to be bullied lap 1? LMAO says Riquet Racing, you'll be fine. Does the brake markers get reset for the race? Fingers crossed. Finlay O'Reilly, not going to win, let's say, many popularity points. Imagine driving the Bentley, says Samuel Holdsworth. He won last week. The goated Boltley, incredible scenes, but yeah, actually won the race last time out in the aforementioned Bentley. So yeah, definitely might not get got it done in qualifying, but certainly want to watch in the race, that is for sure. Of course, Robert Bjorkman definitely going to be one to watch. It was race incidents last time out, the BWP build up as well. Yeah, there was, yeah, of course, the at Bathurst is certainly something that can happen frequently. It is not the easiest track to overtake. This track, though, far too inviting for the overtake, if we're being honest. There is so much room, but it does very much take two drivers to make it happen. Oh, and my absolute apologies. I can't believe I'm having to do this. Sorry, I have got the wrong contrast settings on because the last race was tonight. There we go. I can't believe, my apologies. I can't believe that's been that. Sorry. But we're up and running now. There we go. So I hope no one's had to adjust their set. There we go. Normal service has been resumed. That is a much nicer looking sunset, it has to be said. And he did get to race. Trevor Guernica did get back out on track, so it is going to be 30 cars. He will be joining the arms out on track. Beautiful collection of cars. They will be weaving a bit, that's it, warming the tyres up. We're doing on board, but they're all going to be jamming on and off their brakes, trying to warm those brakes into turn one. It is a short run out the last corner into turn number one. It'll actually be interesting to see if all the cars make it out at the last corner. They should all fit out, but it's always fun to see just how far back the pack can get, because there is nothing worse than starting just a little bit of net code. That was that Smith? I think that was Smith in the Audi. Yeah, that was an interesting little sideways motion. But we're heading towards the start-finish line. We're about to see some green lights, and we've already seen the green lights. We've already seen a drive-through penalty for speeding on the start line. Certainly very quick off the start. Oh, and there's a big move up the inside. That was right on the inside curb, but well avoided. Oh, the Lamborghini's gone full send there. That is an absolute mistake there, unfortunately. Nico Dudek late on the brakes because there's a big bunch up behind. That is a massive concertina effect, and that's really separated the field. Bjorkman, Walters, Johansson have all fallen into place to lead the way. As you can see over his rear spoiler, the BMW is still giving good chase to Audi, tucked right in there as well. Further down the field, we've got confirmation in a second. I can't make it up places. Oh, and that's a wayward BMW in the background. That is Nagy. That is Nagy in the Honda, facing completely the wrong way. It was Downing, they got the drive-through. Oh, and so much steering loss. Can't actually get the car turned in. So the lead group making a clean getaway. Ryan Clemens. Oh, there's a bit of contact in the background with the Ferrari, the BMW. And it's Luke Wilson that's going to go right round the outside in that Bentley. So a lot of action taking place still in the midfield. The Bentley and Wilson picking up a position there after Conrad gave Selishev a little love tap on the exit to Cuervica. That certainly could have ended a lot worse for both drivers there, but it's Wilson that benefits. And not a points paying position, of course. He's still making his way through the Silvers. Bjorkman head and shoulders above the rest of the field in quad. Well, that's actually my apologies to the rest of the field. He's only 2 tenths ahead of Walters and Ed Johansson. Ian Lance with a solid start as well, with Carol Nordell being chased by Kieran Macy still at the moment. Having a look down the field, we've got Drew Downing, who is in Nagy, unsurprisingly in the pit as well. Magnus Haukeby, we've got another car off track. It's Charlie Thornton. Charlie Thornton off track as well. So the opening laps really proving difficult for the drivers, as we see Javier Manuel Gomez given a 10-second penalty after the quali session, putting a move there. Oh no, my apologies, sorry, it's Trombley in the Aston Martin going past Gomez in the Porsche. So it was Trombley in the Aston Martin going past Gomez in the Porsche. Gomez is the driver of the penalty. Nagy and Downing, they're both in the pits. Haukeby well down the order as well. Zajac now in 9th overall, still in 5th position. Augustus is still ahead of him. Akan sets the fastest lap in the opening exchanges. And Robert Bjorkman is showing a clean pair of heels to the rest of the field, and he is leaving Johansson and Walters to battle it out very close into the final corner between these two. Ian Lance in the silvers, still fourth overall. Nordell now the solitary pro outside of the within the top 10. That's outside the top two battle then, with Wilson down in 15th. How could be involved in that early concertina effect? He is into the pits and out of the running. Johansson definitely not out of the run. Oh, the BMW really using the track limits and rotating that car there. That's so much care taken by the cars. The BMW really is giving Bob Bjorkman a good run for his money at the minute, but Bjorkman completely unperturbed up at the front. Some beautiful running there. Luke Wilson down in 15th and still looking to get past Selishev. Of course, he got the position on Conrad after Conrad tried to get the overtake on Selishev. He's now closing in himself. Not only that, Oscar, who got a penalty in the qualifying session, he's finding himself under pressure from both of those drivers. O'Reilly within 7/10 of Aaron at the minute, so another battle going on in the arms, as well as Clements and Goncalves in the silvers. Augustovskis and Zajac. In fact, let's check in on that one. Zajac in full defend mode at the minute. Augustovskis in that Ferrari really is looking that little bit quicker in the opening exchanges. Zajac going into full defend mode then in the BMW. That's going to give a bit of a gap to the drivers ahead, but it is Johansson. Still got Lance. I don't know why the camera keeps doing that along the start-finish straight. Still got Lance behind him, but Lance now being forced to pay more attention to Carol Nordell behind him. As you can see, Nordell really is closing in. Dudek on Macy as well. Augustus on Zajac. Still very much going on. Conrad, Selishev, Luke Wilson got the overtake done. Let's see if I can catch that one on a replay. Now there we go. Just coming out of Cuervica onto Corvone. He's close enough. He's definitely going to be getting slipstream then. How early or late is he going to pop out that slipstream? Although the Ferrari doing some good running in the straight line. The slipstream definitely benefiting the Bentley. Oh no, he stayed out of it there. Oh, although actually he didn't stay out of it. It was the Ferrari ran a bit deep. That's compromised him massively. Wilson gifted the side-by-side opportunity, goes right round the outside. The Bentley much more capable over the curves even since the recent update, and the BMW behind closing in fantastically quickly there as well. So Conrad is going to get another crack at Selishev, and in fact into turn number one, almost getting it done. Selishev, oh, the BMW really is closing in and looking for that position. Heavy extra input on the brakes there to avoid that contact. He is still behind though. Clements and Augustovskis now find themselves battling. Augustovskis was closing in on Goncalves, couldn't make the move stick. He's dropped back ever so slightly. Ian Lance is behind Carol Nordell as well. So Nordell getting that overtake done. I'm sure we'll get that on the replay. Let's have a look at Dudek in the Lambo. He's closing in on Macy. Macy with that 10-second penalty. I fear, I am but the commentator and broadcaster, the stewards I'm sure will have a look, but I fear that Dudek may have a penalty coming his way from lap 1. At first glance it did seem like his bright green Lamborghini. Obviously it doesn't help with identification purposes on his half. It certainly did seem like it wasn't quite in the right position going into turn number 2. It may have caused a bit of contact with a few of the drivers. Huckabee certainly one of them on the receiving end of that, and finds himself down 24th position overall, and a long way to go to catch back up to Wilson. So this one really is going to be a round of damage limitation. Again, with it only being a 1 hour round, it's a lot less time to mitigate the damage from that lap 1 incident. Downing back out this pits. Nagy disconnected from the pits. He got a drive through Oh no, he didn't get a drive-through. He, yes, of course, the big contact. We found him spinning sideways. It was Downing who was speeding at the start, or deemed to have been speeding at the start. He got a drive-through penalty for that, so that finds him. 34 seconds down on Jake Smith, another one of the drivers, seemingly caught up in that incident as well. Again, definitely someone for the steers. So look at what we can see there, just above the front bumper. That bit of separation between the front bumper and the bonnet. It's not exactly aerodynamically sound, as we can see the Audi doing its best to separate Jake's wrists from his elbows. So a lot of extra steering input is going to be going on there. We'll check back up at the front though. Zacek still in 4th position. Goncalves definitely not giving up on the hunt for this one, and in the silvers it is getting very close now that Lance has been overtaken by Nordell in the pros. Nordell free to crack on and try and catch up to the lead pros ahead of him. Macy and Dudek have taken this as an invitation to give Lance a run for his money up at the front of us. And saying that, it's going to be Dudek giving Macy a big run for his money there. The Lamborghini looking very quick, going for the cutback as he positioned the car well enough. It's not going to quite stick for him this time. Much better on the brakes through sector 3. Let's see if he gets on through turn 1, but certainly Macy doing well. Dudek looking very, very, very quick there, clearly. Wilson, as we saw, up to 14th position, and it could be 13th. Opening up the opening up the corner hugely there to use the exit, and overused the exit almost, completely unsettling the Bentley. Good save though. The Bentley doing its best to kill him. Wilson doing his best to keep it on track, and the Oscar and the Aston Martin ahead doing his best to hang on to 13th. Selishev still in the hunt. There is the pit window open. Of course, the pit's open 10 minutes into the race and close with 10 minutes left to go. And Charlie Thornton instantly in, so that seems like dream timing there for Charlie. Some off track with a bit of contact. So to be passing the pit, and he definitely had some damage there. So to be passing the pit entrance just as the pit opened, that's pretty perfect timing there as we see Erin Akan coming in to the pits as well. Let's have another quick look at Robert Bjorkman. If the cameramen can keep up with them, cameramen and women, apologies, because certainly none of the field can. Walter's doing his best, 2.4 seconds down, only 11 minutes into the race. It looks like it's going to be another masterclass from Bjorkman. The rest of the pros now separated fairly equilibriously. Certainly Walters to Johansson, Johansson to Nordell. Very similar gaps that these drivers have got at the minute, and Dudek still putting the pressure on Macy. That's allowed Lance to get a bit of breathing room at the minute, although not much, as you can see them coming through turn 1. Over his rear spoiler you can see the Porsche and the Lambo having that battle in the background. Oh, Wilson has got the move done on Oscar. Oh, up the inside. Very nicely done there by Wilson. Oscar not losing too much pace either there. I'm sure he'll be definitely happy about that, because he does have Selishev still behind him, and Conrad not too far behind either, and we've seen certainly glimpses that he is quicker than Selishev through multiple parts of the course. So yeah, he could certainly make that an interesting group. Drew Downing is still out on track, not at the back of the pack at the minute. Thornton he's just exiting the pits. Ooh, he's just gone wide on the track limits there ever so slightly. The Porsche, he's just run deep a bit there, let the blue flags through, but that's him back out, taking that mandatory pit stop himself and Erna Khan in the BMW. Really getting the pit stop done very early, of course. You definitely get the feeling that was damage inspired. Jake Smith, another driver that was carrying a bit of damage as well, still is, so could maybe do well to come into the pits and get that. This is of course a very high-speed circuit. It really is relying on the downforce in the braking zones. So yeah, any aerodynamic deficiencies really are going to be magnified, and I don't imagine the tyre wear will go too well either. Luke Wilson 13th at the minute. Jay Salgakar still leading the way in the arms, and it's a comfortable gap he has got now back to his fellow arms. And in fact, as I say that, because he's coming to the pits, I was about to say, yeah, Mishan Wallace, championship leader, started in 5th. I barely keep an eye on Mishan throughout the race. He does look like he's got a bit of damage that's been repaired. That's his mandatory stop out the way. Downing joins him in the pits. That's only 14 minutes in. That's him in. There's Jake Smith going past. There goes Selishev. He's going to come up. Come in the pits about halfway through the field. It's Carl Nordell, and in fact he's calling up to Johansson. Wow, so Nordell really has put the laps in then, or Johansson was slowed on that last one. In fact, 34.7. Let's see what happens when he comes across the line here and see what the Audi driver's time is. But certainly Nordell wasted no time. Got past Lance. No, Johansson 34.9 then. Nordell 6/10ths quicker. The two of them only separated by a 10th over a lap as well. But Nordell certainly making short work since getting past Lance to catch back up. And this is a podium battle in the pros. They could certainly have some interesting ramifications for the championship with Magnus Haukeby and Luke Wilson both down the order at the minute. Johansson as well, 7th place. Carl Nordell down in 9th. My apologies, Nordell in 9th. So a solid battle for the podium, and a breathe in hugely there. Just to hope the aerodynamics help the Mercedes avoid the trunk of the boot, the trunk of the Audi. I do say trunk a lot now, actually. Thank you very much, Mike Dawes. Americanising me to the parts of the car. Oh, he's having a big look, Nordell, in the Mercedes. He really wants this done before the end of the lap, and he's got it done as well. Nicely done. Up the inside through the final. Oh, and in the background there, sorry, as well. Caught myself in my own thoughts. That is Dudek and Lance, not far down the road. But Lance now under pressure once again from a lively Lamborghini. Nico Dudek's Lambo out the last corner, certainly giving him a run for his money. Some excellent steering input required, no doubt. Nordell up onto the podium though. How much of an impression can he make on Walter's lead? Walters has been into the 1 minute 33s, so at the moment he is averaging quicker laps than Nordell, but we are seeing cars coming in the pits, so we're going to see some blue flag traffic. Connie Arn closing in. In fact, getting past Johnson. My apologies, past. No, sorry. Different. It's O'Reilly's just behind. Sorry. O'Reilly just behind. That is Haukeby. That's just ahead. There he is. There. We do have now 4 drivers. Mishan Wallace back out, and he is not the lead arm that is pitted. That honour goes to Tefik Ern Akan, back out with the pits and ahead of the championship leader, and he started at the back of the grid with no qualification time set, so a great drive there. Oh, and O'Reilly's just picked up. I did mention track limits were so inviting, and they have been a little too inducing for O'Reilly in the McLaren. That is a drive through when he's still got his mandatory to take as well. But I can in a very good position. So again, apologies to Mishan Wallace and his supporters. I'm not sure what happened there. There's a lot going on the first lap. We'll maybe catch it in the highlights at the end. We'll have a look and see. Dudek still piling the pressure on Lance with Johansson still trying to hang on to the back of Nordell. Nordell not making any instant impressions in the gap to Walters ahead. But no massive surprise given Walter's current pace. But we'll see what Nordell can really do now. He has been fully unleashed at the minute. The Mercedes first and third for the pros at the minute. So a really strong showing from the Mercs, especially given that we do have some of the newer cars out on track. That is confirmation. O'Reilly with 2 laps left to serve. That penalty, we've got Mark Roy. Yeah, Haukebe's just come into the pit, so Roy has gained a position there. Manuel Gomez still going to come in and take his pit stop. And Goncalves as well, actually. That's him into the pits in the Porsche. It's dropped him right back down to the back of the grid. So another driver of fear has been involved in some kind of incident. Certainly not gone his ways. See, there's Gomez there, just been overtaken by the race leader, and he does come in to take his pit stop. That 10 seconds is going to be massively costly. Jake Smith definitely going to be a beneficiary there. Charlie Thornton should get past as well, but that won't be for position. We'll see how Wallace fares against the rest of the pitting arms, and we'll see if we get an idea of where he is in the field. Dudek and Lance still going out for the... oh, in fact, Macy's through. Macy's through. Kieran Macy is taking the lead, and he's sideways. He is sideways. So at this... okay, so he is behind. Okay, so at this point he is behind. The BMW Ian Lance has moved over. Kieran Macy is leading. Have they come into the pits? No, they've not come into the pits. So Ian Lance. I'm running on the assumption it runs with him because it says he's still ahead of Dudek. Let's see as they come into the final sector. They're not in the pits. Kieran Macy is in the lead. Comes round the last corner. The BMW, nice and easy does it. Oh no, there we go. Comes into the last corner. And the Lamborghini, oh, not so easily does it. The BMW rights himself. The Porsche sees it all unfold. And he sails on through. Kieran Macy takes the lead in the silvers. And I hate to say it, does look like that was the second rear end contact for Zajac there again. Down to the stewards to have a look at that one, I'm sure, but that has again massive connotations for the championship and the race directly in front of us. Kieran Macy in the lead, Ian Lance second, Nico Dudek in third. Simon Zajac will be rubbing his hands together seeing the changes up at the front. Luke Wilson, he's closed in on arm leader Jay Salgakar. I don't imagine Jay's going to put up a massive fight here. But look, he knows Luke's in the pros and he is comfortably leading the way in the arms. Doesn't want to do anything silly. In fact, excellent little dab of the brakes here just to let Luke through. Race IQ 300, of course. He's got a good 5 seconds ahead of Conrad, who is now in second place in those silvers. He's still trying to get his way past Selashev, who is the division above. But a great battle these two are having. Oscar catching up to Salgakar as well, so likely to see him go past there. Haukebe, the first pro into the pits. He is back out down to 21st position. So again, we'll see how the pit stops iron themselves out. Dudek's ahead of Ian Lance. So let's see how this one happened then. As soon as we look away from this battle, oh yep, you really had to look up the inside. Look at the outside line there. The BMW holds his ground. Oh, runs a bit wide there. Almost, yep, they're side by side here, and we know that the Lamborghini isn't backing out with this one. More than enough room left there by the BMW, and the Lamborghini finally gets the job done then. Dudek up into second position. And amazingly it is Ian Lance in third, with Kieran Macy still leading the way in the silvers, and fifth overall in the race as well. So the silvers really are doing well overall. Let's see how Augustovskis is getting on. Can he close up, and Zajac close up as well before the pit stops, because it doesn't look like the three leading the silvers are giving up their battle anytime soon. Ian Lance has definitely had pace in the opening stages. Can he find it again in the closing stages? Conrad is still all over the back of Selishev, and Mishan Wallace behind Akan and Smith still trying to close up there. He's got a lot of work to do though. Smith looking good for quite a few positions when the pit stops come through for the rest of the arms as well. Conrad's still running well. Dudek now really putting the pressure on Macy. So let's see how this battle unfolds. 26 minutes left to come in and take those mandatory stops. Let's go Zaychek, says Yavorich. T1 Carnage, here we come, says Ricky Racing, and Samuel Holdsworth in the chat. Misano must be the Bentley's worst track. All its weaknesses are exaggerated. Well, yeah, looks certainly seemingly massively off the pace, having won last week. He did say, I spoke to him actually, and he did say he wasn't particularly looking forward to Misano. But at the minute, certainly faring better than Haukeby. This is still the battle for the lead in the silvers though, and it is absolutely still as hot as it was, certainly hotter than the 17-degree track temperature the drivers are now driving on. Macy, of course, with that 10-second penalty as well, so he is going to drop these positions, but he is going to battle to hold on to the race lead as long as possible. The Audi, I suppose it is an Audi really, the Lamborghini, getting very close. There's the Beamer in the background. So these three still battling away. Selishev still fending off Conrad at the minute. Clements is into the pits in the silvers. That's put Woodka ahead of him. Let's see how they get through Carbone. Oh, the Porsche, well held by the Porsche, but he's going to lose that position and potentially too as the BMW has a look up the inside. The Porsche still fighting back though, looking to take the final apex. He can't do it. The BMW is going to have a good run, but an extra drop on the brakes into the final corner, or out the penultimate corner at the final. Oh, and the Porsche again looking very lively there. That was some brave holding on there for the Porsche driver. Macy, wow, all kinds of lateral movement there, doesn't it? And again, not quite getting the power down, just about getting it done in time. But you can see how much more speed the Lambo's carrying around that corner, and then the BMW appeared as well. Slight extra tap on their brakes to avoid that contact there, and the Porsche on exit once again. It's a whole lot of lateral movement on the back of the car. Definitely can't afford to do that when you've got podium protagonists around you. Jay Salgakar, speaking of podium protagonists, he's come in just approaching the halfway mark of the hour-long race to get his pit stop done and dusted. And as you can see, the field's still pretty close behind. That's him down to 18th already since he's come in. Lance and Macy, of course, staying out. With Dudek ahead, but of course they're in the silvers. Jason Salgakar is in the arms, so it's Conrad who we are looking at, and there is Salgakar leaving the pits. That is a big tumble. 18th place then, so still inside the top 20 overall, although that might drop a couple more places. Oh yep, that's him, 19th. He should be just ahead of Haukeby. Yeah, he definitely is ahead of Haukeby. So yeah, still inside the top 20 as O'Reilly comes into the pits. So Finlay O'Reilly coming in. Second trip in, of course, the drive-through for track limits as well. So he is going to tumble down the order. Wallace can make back a couple of places. He himself is closing in on Charlie Thornton ahead. Charlie there in the Audi, taking the driving line. Wallace, a lot of slipstream he's going to be getting there. If you can time this one right, he should be able to slingshot past. Not able to get it done. He's not going to get that one done on the brakes there. The Audi holding a very good line through the final sector. Wallace is going to need a few more corners at least if he's going to get this overtake done. Is he going to get past Finlay O'Reilly out of the pits though? This will be an important position championship wise for him if he can get this done. There is O'Reilly still crawling out the pits. It looks like Wallace might just get him here. It is going to be close. He's been released and Wallace is into turn 1. Drive. Oh, O'Reilly with it. It's all, yeah, never mind. O'Reilly's picked up a drive-through, so he did sneak out just ahead, but unfortunately the driving, speeding in the pit lane, that is a drive-through penalty, so that is going to give Wallace that position back again. Up at the front, Robert Bjorkman still comfortably leading the way as we'll reach the halfway mark of the race. Walters in second. Nordell has halved the gap since we last checked in, which was 13 or 14 minutes ago. So it's 1.6 seconds he's made up in 16 minutes. That's not too bad at all. Ian Lance and Macy are still close. Jay Salgakar is still lapping very quickly, so he's come out at a good time. He's got one of the lead pros just behind him. He's going to be pitting as well, so he shouldn't have too much traffic to deal with. Christian Wood comes in from the silver, so too Gustavskis actually came in just before Marcus, coming in from 7th position in the silvers. As we see Roy going past there in the arms. There goes Clements as well. So Clements is retaking a position from Augustus. That'll be confirmed when he exits the pits and crosses the sector line. It's Bjorkman we're looking for. He's stayed out. So he's running along first stint. So too is Walters. He stayed out as well. Let's see what the Audi of Johansson does. He has stayed out. Nordell, of course, has stayed out. Luke Wilson. Where is he? Still got a couple of corners to go. So we'll see what he does from the pros. Dudek comes in from 2nd place then, and Macy follows him in. Ian Lance, he stays out. So yeah, big splits in the strategies for the silvers. But at the minute it's Ian Lance who is back in the lead. Zajac is closing in handily as well actually. He's within a couple of seconds of Johansson. Sorry, within a couple of seconds of Ian Lance. Looking up and down and trying to tabulate everything at once. It's Johnson that's in the pits, not Johansson. He's actually on his way back out. Wilson has come in. Macy still in the pits as well. Gustavskis back out. He'll be looking to overtake. Dudek's on his way back out. So where is he compared? Oh yeah, of course Macy is still in there. Gustavskis is actually still ahead of Clements, sorry. So he was back out ahead of Clements. Coneyarn still to take the pit stop. Robert Bjorkman in, and Walters follows him straight in. Carl Nordell stays out, so he's going to continue his charge for the finish line. Still got 18 minutes to take the pit stop. The clouds have faded still in a solid, just as I say, a solid track temperature. It's just gone up a degree to 18, so yeah, the track temperature certainly not one that's adverse to drivers putting in some quick, clean, consistent laps. Nordell taking that option at the minute. But still plenty of time. Luke Wilson's come back out of the pits, 15th place overall. He does have Clements very close to him. Selishev's come into the pits as well. So we'll see where he comes back out in comparison to Dudek, who's got a good gap now over Kieran Macy. That 10 seconds for Macy as he came into the pits as we saw for that penalty. It really has been as detrimental as I thought it might be. Although in saying that, it's only 10 seconds separating him from Dudek. So Yeah, if it wasn't for that 10 seconds, this would be an entirely different. So that has been massively detrimental, because if it wasn't for the penalty, he would be in the lead of the race by 4/10 of a second. Can he find that back over 27 minutes? Let us sit and watch gleefully until we find out. Zajac within 7/10 of Ian Lance, these two, the on-track leaders in the silvers. Nordell comes into the pits, so he's gone 1 lap longer than the two drivers ahead. Johansson is going to stay out. Oh no, he's not. My apologies. He has come into the pits as well. Lance and Zajac definitely staying out at the moment. But yeah, Johansson and Nordell both into the pits. Nordell both into the pits. Let's see where Bjorkman is. I do expect him to still be in the lead of the race. Oh, Zajac within 3/10. The two BMWs battling out for the top of the silvers. Well, we've still got that pit stop to take. It is still Dudek. At the moment, you would think leading the way. Gustafsson putting on a good charge, actually. He's caught right up to Macy, so that penalty really has been detrimental to Macy. Not only taking him off the lead of the race, potential lead of the silvers, it's put him right into the clutches of Gustafsson. The Ferrari really hunting down that Porsche. At the minute, Johansson and Nordell, of course, already on his way. That's Conrad in the pits. Bjorkman already well through turn number 1. So is Walters again. That is not quite the car we're looking for. It's Nordell that we're looking for there. He's got the Lambo behind. So yep, he's back out in 3rd position. Looking to do some more good chasing if he can. As I say, he made up 1.6 seconds in about 16 minutes. We've got 25 minutes left to go. Misano might be up. So go number 4. Catch that Macy, says Sen and Ra. Rip rear tyres, says Macy. Indeed, the so Macy having problems with the back tyres. So yeah, all in the favour then of Gustafsson. Luke Wilson getting past Selishev. Oh no, already past Selishev. That was just a glitch in the timing there. Ian Lance once again leading the race overall, but he's certainly not leading on his own. Well, he is leading on his own, of course. He is in 1st position, but Simon Zajac definitely keeping him company there up at the front. The two drivers pretty inseparable at this point in time. With 14 minutes of a pit window left, how is this going to affect their pit strategy? They're only just halfway into this lap. Gustafsson and Wilson still looking for improvements. As we see, my apologies. Zajac open up that corner. I was just watching Nordell's lap times there. He's ahead of Walters. By a comfortable distance. So he really got that done then. So my apologies, Walters isn't back out in 2nd place. It's Karl Nordell who is up to 2nd. What a drive that's been. Confirmation. Sorry, Ian Lance and Oscar in the pits. Ian Lance in the pits. Simon Zajac has stayed out. Oscar's come into the pits. So we'll see where the rest of the silvers come back past the pit lane. Dudek there already past the pit entrance and past the pit exit. So Zajac still leading now leading the race overall. Ian Lance. Wow, Nico Dudek is. Johansson, one of the pros, picks up a track limit penalty. But yeah, that's a big change in the silver. That's a big gap. That isn't oh no, my apologies. He was right. Okay, I was looking at that completely the wrong way around. I thought he was a lap up, but he's not. He's only just coming past the exit. But still, yeah, I was right. That is a big gap. That is a much bigger gap than it was before they came in. Kieran Macy coming through turn one with a lot of traffic around. Oh, Mishan Wallace. It gets righted at the end. He did get straightened up there at the end as Kieran Murphy and a whole lot of cars came through there. That was Selishev involved in that as well. Jay Salgakar just behind this. He's got a big gap. Now it is Conrad who is in second place in the ARMS. Drive-through clear. It's all happening as Oscar exits the pit. Selishev, Clements and Wilson have all got themselves pretty close together then as Mishan Wallace is ahead of them. Simon Zajac comes into the pits, the final driver to take his mandatory pit stop, and given where Nico Dudek passed Ian Lance, it's more a question of can Zajac get ahead of Kieran Murphy. If he does, he could potentially be ahead of Lance. It is going to be very close. He's going to slot out right in the middle of these two by the look of it. He is right in the near side pit box. He's right in pit box 1. The race leader's already through. It's Nico Dudek that we're looking for. That's Ian Lance. There is Nico Dudek, of course, taking the lead. Zajac is moving. Ian Lance rounds at the last corner. Let's see where Zajac is. Oh, he's being released, and Lance is ahead of them. Now, these two very close when they came into the pits. Kieran Macy is just behind, and he's been released, and Zajac, he's actually ahead. He is ahead of Ian Lance, so Zajac out in second place, so the undercut. Now wait a minute, is Kieran Macy, oh no, sorry, never mind, Kieran Macy is, yes. He's got an out position Lambo. No, that's Dudek just ahead of him, so it is Dudek. No, it's not Dudek ahead of him, it is an out of position Lambo. Dudek is leading the silver, Zajac in second, Ian Lance in third, and Kieran Macy hunting him down in fourth place. And Augustovskis not too far behind either. They really are dominating the top 10 standings at the minute with the battle going on. There's Mishan Wallace just losing a lap to some more cars. Luke Wilson still got close attendance being shown by Clements and Selishev, who are battling for position at 6th place in the Silvers. The Silvers really is the hottest contested division on track at the minute. It doesn't look like that's going to die down for the closing 19 minutes. The pit window is still open, but all the drivers have been in to fulfill their mandatory requirements. And after that, it is Bjorkman who is still leading the way in the pros. Nordell in second, Walters in third place, and in the silvers, Dudek first, Zajac in second, and Ian Lance in third place. And in the arms, after the pit stops, is Jay Salgakar still in the lead. Great race he's had so far. Conrad in second place. And it is Connie Arn, sorry, that is up into third position in the arms. O'Reilly, sorry, just in order, they're looking to get an overtake on a Khan who was doing well in the race. Mishan Wallace back ahead of both of them. Roy and Smith as well, so another battle going on in the arms actually, but I'm going to keep an eye on this one at the top of the silvers. And in fact, as I say that, Augustovskis has dropped off the pace ever so slightly then. He was a lot of traffic to make their way through. And Hansen, bear with me a sec, just need to very quickly fix an airflow issue at the moment. There we go. Yes, so 16 minutes left to go. Of course, 6 minutes to the pit window, but everyone has taken that stop. We're looking at Conrad and Oscar battling out for podium position. Oh no, sorry, it's not podium positions. Conrad and they're in different classes, of course. Oscar sailing past. Yeah, one of those times you don't imagine Conrad putting up too much of a fight. He knows that he's on that podium. So overall position really is just vanity. It's the in-class finishing position that is the sanity in this race. Robert Bjorkman 7.2 seconds ahead of Carol Nordell. Carol at the moment certainly matching up or close to matching up for those lap times. So the Mercedes definitely could have had themselves a phenomenal battle up at the front. Walters early doors was shown 1 minute 33 pace, but over the last couple of laps it has dropped off ever so slightly, 134.4. So the traffic playing havoc with some of the drivers up at the front as well, costing them these valuable tenths here and there. No such troubles at the minute for Jay Salgacar. Cruel twist of fate, he is coming up behind Mishan Wallace, so multiple times we've seen these two battle for the lead of the race, but Wallace not having a good one this evening, certainly by his standards. Championship leader, he's going to be well down the order. 7th place at the minute. This really is going to change the tables at the top of the arms. Guillermo Goncalves as well in the Porsche in the silvers, dead last at the minute. Thornton ahead of him, Clements and Woodke as well. Christian Wood, this is not a great result for him as far as his championship aspirations goes, but it certainly makes it interesting for us as the viewers, because yeah, it just means all the more chance to mix it up for the races over the rest of the season. Michaela Mrazova, my apologies for butchering that one, but goal Zajac, and he is definitely going. It's been a good pit strategy. Ian Lance not too far behind still, and Kieran Macy still very much in touch as well. Augustus just trying his best to catch back up, and Luke Wilson closing in on the gaggle of silvers that he has got ahead of him. 4th place though, looking pretty solid after Johansson having to serve that drive-through penalty for track limits. Such an easy track for this to happen, as I mentioned at the start. And in fact, Mishan Wallace looks like he's getting another position back. My apologies, Mishan, didn't realise. And in fact, maybe even 2, because he's got right up onto the back of Smith and Roy. Roy we saw, of course, Smith, sorry, with the drive-through for track limits in the first half of the race. And it's brought him down the order. It's Roy who is within sight of him at the minute, and Wallace definitely within sight, enjoying a lot of slipstream along Curvone. Can he position the car to get one done before the start-finish line? Still got 12 minutes to do so. So he is likely to bide his time and plan this one well if he can get the overtake done. These extra 2 positions could be all important come the end of the championship, given how close it is and how far down the order he's been this race. Well, the Lamborghini getting very close there. Jake Smith throwing it into the last corner there, getting it over those curves. A little bit of tyre scrubbing on the exit, as we heard, but he's kept it between the mayo and the mustard. Oh, and that that maybe was a bit of contact then, and it's unsettled Jake Smith, and it's put the Lamborghini straight through. Then Roy taking that position and just behind them, just to make it all the more interesting. There is a blue flag, and even more interesting, Mishan Wallace has said thank you very much. Your car might have been on sale, but he didn't get it done. Looking very close, but they do now have the blue flag coming past them. So Mishan will, of course, try and stay away as much as possible without giving up too much time himself, but it is the ARM leader Jay Salgacar making his way through, so Mishan will continue the battle, and in fact he's going to be straight back to it again as Smith just on the inside, Wallace on the outside. He's gone right round the outside of Quernica. Oh, and it's Salgacar who's had a bit of a wiggle, and it's going to be a solid 3 wide then. No, it's not, because Mishan Wallace is backed right out of that one. Jay Salgacar sails on through. Oh, not the most stable looking Audi there. Smith's car looking ever so slightly unsettled. Then Charlie Thornton and the Silvers closing in. Mason Wallace running deep and really using those track limits. Thornton went for a look up the inside. That's the second time Wallace has been contacted multiple times in one incident, and on both occasions his car has been left facing the correct way. Little consolation, I'm sure, for Wallace there. Really does need to get these positions back, and these two positions would see him promoted from 7th to 5th place in his class, so you really will be looking to get those caught up. But yeah, another contact there, and that sees him down the order. Magnus Haukeby, operation damage limitation. He is back on track. He is going to be last in the pros, 6 of them out on track. Johansson, despite the drive-through penalty, is going to finish ahead of Haukeby at the minute. So 10 minutes to go though, around Gomez has been disqualified for driving the wrong way in the pit lane. So maybe missed his pit box and tried to reverse back towards it. That's, it doesn't often go well. But yeah, Gomez then, that's out of the race. Disappointing end there, I'm sure, for him. Haukeby is where I was watching. It is a bit of a procession at the minute in the closing stages, but certainly one I'm sure that Jay Salgakar will be more than happy to take part in. That's been a solid race that he's had. Finishing just outside the top 10 overall. The Audi's running well, not as well as the Mercedes obviously, but he's got a good gap back to Conrad there, and Arden in that 3rd place. And in fact he has just been overtaken there by Johansson in the pro, so that's about 12th overall, but still is comfortably leading the way there. And Dudek as well, he has now got himself a very comfortable gap. Started 3rd in the Silvers, and he's had a phenomenal race. A couple of slight incidents, but he's still cracking on to the end. In fact, Roy and Johnson, where is Mishan Wallace? He's 4 seconds down on them now, so that contact really was detrimental to his chances of getting those positions taken back there. And it's a lot of work he's got to do, and not really a lot of time to do it, as there's Conrad just ahead of him. So coming up thick and fast to more traffic ahead. Yeah, Conrad in 2nd place in those in the arms with Arden, as I mentioned, in 3rd position. So Johnson, Roy and Smith, really big points they're going to collect compared to Wallace. So too Salgakar. 3.5 seconds Wallace has now got to make up, so he's made him a second. He is going to have to absolutely go some. He is definitely quicker than the 2 cars ahead. It's just whether there's enough race time left for him to actually get caught up and get the positions done. It wasn't as easy. Oh, there we go, that is... that's Haukeby. So yeah, that is Magnus Haukeby then going. That just goes to show you the pace that Bjorkman's got. He's gone a lap up against another one of the pros with 7 minutes left in the race. 53 in the rear view mirror. And Bjorkman again, another absolute masterclass. Fastest lap, 1 minute 33.7, and despite making his way through traffic on that last lap, still managed a 35.1. So keeping the lap times low even through the traffic. I think Salgakar and Oscar have just traded positions again. So these two matching one another for pace. The slipstream might be working. Oh no, it's not worth that time for Salgakar. That exit, not exactly what he was needing there, but still he is leading the way. There's now no one separating him from Conrad, 3.5 seconds though. So a good comfortable gap he's got at the minute, just needs to neatly bring this one home. Oh, drive through. Smith, another one. That's a second drive through penalty for Smith then. Track limits really proving problematic for the Audi driver. Oh, he's gone in a bit hot. Yeah, he really has gone in a bit hot, and yeah, if I was a betting, yeah, no, he made it on the line. It's fine. You have faith. He made it on the line. He definitely slowed down in time. Fingers crossed. Yeah, but in the dying stages, then that's just the icing on a not too tasty cake for Jake Smith. He's definitely picked up damage from collecting that barrier as well. My big fear is that he's picked up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. That was a lively entrance. Now, with only 5 minutes to go, probably no point in getting that damage repaired. Okay, he has, yeah, so he's made it through, unpunished from the stewards then. Yeah, sideways into the pit entrance doesn't always, often frowned upon, my apologies, that's the phrase, it's often frowned upon by the in-game stewards, but they were happy enough with that one. I think the damage punishment enough. Carl Nordell, 6.1 seconds behind. Bjorkman is definitely still the quicker of the two, but Bjorkman is being closed in on at the moment. Again, I don't think it is going to be anywhere near. In fact, it's definitely not going to be enough. He's not making up 6 seconds in 4 minutes unless Bjorkman has some kind of technical issue. O'Reilly back at the pits after a second drive-through penalty. Smith, sorry, out of the pits after a second drive-through penalty, and he's got O'Reilly also on a penalty, hunting him down. And is that a can behind him? No, it's not. That's Walter, third place in the pros. And O'Reilly in the McLaren, closing up. So O'Reilly and Smith, they've had a couple of trips in the pits. Oh, Goncalves into the pits for a drive-through. He must have just picked that up. Wow, 3 minutes to go, and the drive-throughs start coming thick and fast. Oh, and this could be an overtake here as the Audi runs a bit deep. He's managed to gather up, but much more momentum taken by O'Reilly through that first sector. This could be, again, this is a points-paying overtake. Much later on the brakes, has he managed to stop? Wow, look how, man, he really did manage to hold on to those track limits there. If he did, out on the yellow Kerman, not as much fear these days since the update. In the background though, there is Richard Walters third in the pro, so he is going to take that position. Overall, he'll sail through, so that battle is put on hold between O'Reilly and Smith for the moment. Gustavskis and Selishev. Oh no, sorry, but it's Selishev closing in on Wilson again. That's not for that one, not for position. Just as I was saying, if he's found all over a second in the last couple of minutes, Nordell certainly looking to keep Bjorkman as honest as possible up at the front of the field. That is some quick times there he is putting in. Now down to 5.8 seconds. Bjorkman should be able to hang on to this one though. 2 minutes to go. And yeah, he is looking quick into sector 1. How would that be for a grandstand finish? And in fact, Wallace has got past Roy. So Wallace has made up a position then. Bjorkman just makes his way through as well, so sort of missed that one down the order. Mishan Wallace has improved on his position. 5th place at the minute. There's a Lambo just getting out of the way. That's Downing. Just getting himself out of the way. Seth Johnson is a bit up the road. But that is good points. Every point that Wallace can bring home this race, absolutely vital. Selishev still over the back of Wilson, but again, this isn't for points, so unlikely to see Selishev try any overtakes. This could well be the last lap actually. Let's just wait for confidence. A minute to go. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Oh yeah, just coming in the final few corners now, so it is going to be one more lap after this one for Bjorkman. The gap 5.4 seconds. He's just on a 34.4 on that previous lap. Wow, really throwing it around that last corner. He's lapped there at 34.9. Walters with a drive-through at the death. How much of an effect is that going to have on his position? Luke Wilson. Interesting times ahead. And does he? No, he doesn't even have time to serve it. So if he didn't come in the pit on that lap, which means he's going to have to cross the line or enter the pit and hope he crosses the line while in the pit lane. But I think that would still induce a penalty. Yeah, Richard Walters. How far ahead is he? We'll get proper confirmation on that. Sorry, yeah, Robert Bjorkman leading the way. It is a victory parade lap for him at the moment. The Mercedes driver really has not put a foot wrong so far. Been an absolutely flawless race. Took pole position by almost 0.3 of a second. And he has definitely put that extra pace to good use over the race. A 5.3 second gap over a very quick Karl Nordal, who's made his way through the field to catch up and get on to the podium. But the top spot over the race has always belonged to Robert Bjorkman, and the checkered flag will belong to him as well. And fastest lap to boot, just to make sure he gets the full trifecta. Congratulations to Robert Bjorkman. Great race and a great finish. And also Karl Nordal, who's made his way through the field, as I say, up from 4th position to get into 2nd. Walters with the drive-through, that will be converted to a time penalty. Only 30 seconds he might get off the hook here. Nico Dudek rounds at the last corner. A hard-fought race in the silvers. Incredible stuff. And it's the Lamborghini that takes the top spot. Simon Zajac in the BMW. A strong showing for the German manufacturers here in Italy. And it's Zajac in 2nd. And Ian Lance, a 3rd BMW on the podium out of the pros and the silvers. So incredible drive there. And of course too, Jay Salgakar in the Audi. Conrad in the BMW. 4 BMWs out of 9 podium spots. A strong showing. And for those that say the McLaren is the meta, out of 9 possible podium spots in this race, only 1 McLaren on there, so congratulations to Connie Arn for doing that. But here it is, Jay Salgakar crossed the line, taking the checkered flag and the win in the arms. Conrad crosses the line to take 2nd place, and Connie Arn crossing the line to take 3rd in class, and has definitely finished. Oops. So yeah, Robert Bjorkman, what a race for him. Let's check confirmation on the arms first of all. Salgakar, Conrad and Arn rounding out the podium. Johnson and Wallace 3rd and 4th. Roy in 6th position. And a lap down, it was Smith, O'Reilly, Downing and Akan all finishing inside the top 10. In the silvers, Dudek, as we saw, with a great win. Zajac and Lance 2nd and 3rd. Macy in 4th. Augustovskis crossed the line in 5th place, with Selishev in 6th position. Oscar in 7th. Christian Wood come across the line in 8th place. It's going to be an interesting one. Charlie Thornton finishing in 9th position. And in the pros, Robert Bjorkman, take a bow, good sir. Championship lead for a very good reason. Another solid performance and a solid win. Leading home a pair of Mercedes. Karl Nordal with that drive to get him into 2nd place. Walters, it would appear, did hang on to 3rd place just. Luke Wilson in 4th. Johansson in 5th, and Magnus Haukeby finishing in 6th position in the pro category. That was quite incredible. They got a bit spread out at the end there, but the battle for the silvers, that one absolutely heated up. Nico Dudek should be extremely proud of his strategy there. A lot of racing. Might be the odd adjustment here and there for penalties during the race. We'll let the stewards figure that one out. Absolutely. And as they do, let's pop this on. Barbecue Possum, that was painful in the Bentley. Look. Yeah, we weren't sure the Bentley was best suited to this track, and it certainly didn't seem to be, that is for sure. Had no grip at all. Great race though. Yeah, good racing throughout. It really was. That was round number 7. Next up, of course, it is 2 hours of Kailami. So make sure you hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. Formula GT Racing, their World Challenge Series on ACC. It'll be round number 8. Of course, Laguna Seca, Imola, Brands Hatch, Nürburgring, Barcelona, Bathurst, and now Misano. All in the rear view mirrors. The headlights firmly shine upon Kailami, and again, what a track that one is. Absolutely cannot wait for that one as well. Based on what we've seen tonight, that promises to be another absolute cracker. I'm going to leave you with the highlights. Thank you very much to everyone that took part in the race. Thanks to Charlie and the gang for organising the races, and of course thank you to everyone in the chat keeping me company during the race. With K4 Macy, Broughty was in there, that Penguin, Lyricsen and Ra was in there, Reek Racing, Marcus Augustovskis said hi, so too Finlay O'Reilly and Jake Smith all in the race as well. Samuel Holdsworth gives a hello. Yavarej was in there as well, so too Barbecue Possum. So thank you very much again to everyone in the chat. My name, of course, John Wright, aka Double O Raven. It's been an absolute pleasure once again to bring you all the action. That is all I have time for this evening, and we'll leave you with some of the highlights. So yeah, we'll leave that running. But whatever you do for the rest of your weekend, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.